thought I'd do a video on my everyday makeup routine. Basically, I found myself wearing this makeup look day after day after day with basically the exact same products. Every now and then I'll switch around a couple things, but if I'm like in a crunch for time, if I'm just going out, if I'm going to work, this is basically what I do. I focus mainly on complexion, and I keep the lips and the eyes pretty simple, pretty nude. I don't put too much on there. For the summer, this has just been super easy because I can get it done in maybe 15 minutes tops when I'm not recording. And yeah, it's just really easy, effortless, and I can't go wrong with this look. It goes with absolutely anything, any time of day, anywhere that I'm going. And for me, I do like a very full coverage, full face of makeup. So for me, this is pretty minimal and pretty natural. Of course, you can customize this to be whatever natural is to you, or if this for you is a very full face of makeup and this is what you like to do like when you go out, then by all means. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've already filled my brows in, I prepped my face, so I'm just going to jump right into my foundation. And for this, I'll be using my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge and the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. And I'm in the shade Light 3 Gobi, I believe it is. So this foundation, you just want to shake it up. I've really been loving this. First off, because I love the consistency of it. It's very thin, but it has a very high coverage. So it gets everything that I like covered up without pounding on layers and layers of foundation. So once you shake it up, I just do about 3 pumps on the back of my hand, and normally that sounds excessive, but this foundation is like a 1-drop foundation, so like 1 pump literally is 1 drop of foundation. Then I just like to go ahead and dot this all over. Now this is my winter shade. So right now it is a little light. I don't really get much color at all in the summer, as you can tell. But it is a tiny bit dark. So I just mainly go in with bronzer to warm it up as opposed to completely switching up my foundation shade. Once I've gotten that completely dotted on, I just take the flat side of my sponge and just press that in. The sponge is damp, so you just kind of want to run it under some water, squeeze the excess water out, and then go ahead and use it that way. This is going to provide some extra luminosity and hydration for the skin. Now year-round, regardless of whether it is summer or winter, I like a very luminous finish. So this foundation is supposed to be like a natural satin finish, I believe. But it's, even though it is called a luminous foundation, but I do go in with a couple of luminous products just to make sure that my skin is extra glowy. Once I've gotten that all patted in, I'm going to move right onto concealer, and for this I'll be using my MAC Prolongwear. And again, I'm just going to take, I'm running out of this thing. I'm going to take like a pump of that on the back of my hand, and I just like to take this and dot it more so in the center towards my tear duct. Because I feel like brightening that area really does capture the most darkness. And then I like to bring some of that down. Now with the pointy end of my sponge, I'll go ahead and start pressing that in. And as I do, I push some of the product outwards. So that essentially I am still creating that same V motion, just without adding the concealer all over. And I'll take whatever's left over and kind of coat my eyelids. So now that I'm all concealed, I like to go ahead and set that pretty quickly. I just like to go in with my Real Techniques setting brush and my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I just take the middle yellow shade in that palette, and as you can see I'm almost out. but I've just really been loving this to set my concealer. This is the only place where I really like to add a lot of setting powder to make sure nothing creases. And then I'll also take some of that powder and go right over my eyelids to make sure that that doesn't crease either. Now since I won't be adding much eyeshadow to this, or really any eyeshadow at all, this is sort of going to act as my shadow. Now that that's all done, I'm going to set the rest of my face using my Nars Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder. And I just take some of that into the lid with my really big Real Techniques powder brush as I drop everything. And I just kind of go ahead and lightly set the rest of my face. The reason I like this is because a lot of setting powders have some sort of a tint to them, and they tend to not be light enough for my complexion, and they change up the shade of my foundation. Then throughout the day I feel like it acts funny as my foundation starts to melt into my skin. So I'd really like to stick to like more translucent or like the white shade powders for all over the face. Okay. Next I'm going to go in with some bronzer, and I've really been loving MAC's Give Me Sun. As you can tell, Give Me Sun's really warm. I tend to not like warm bronzers. I do love like warm highlights, warm blushes, but not so much warm bronzers. This is definitely an exception though. It's not a year-round shade for me. I really stick to this mainly in the summertime. But I'm going to go ahead and apply that using my Bare Minerals Seamless Shaping and Finish brush. And this is just like a little dome-shaped brush. So I just kind of swirl around a little bit in there. Pat off any excess, and I'm not going to do any sort of contouring. I just like to go in and bronze. So in the general area where you would contour is where you want to apply this. I'm going to bring it up to my temples, and I definitely even bring it over to where I apply my blush so that I get a really sort of bronzy look. This is meant to be pretty effortless. I don't want to think too much about where I'm placing my colors, or how intense they are, how sharp they are, clean the lines are. Also, I've definitely changed the way that I fill my brows in. I've let them grow out a lot more, so I don't need to fill them in quite as much. I just sort of fill in the sparse areas, and where I used to really carve them out, I don't do that so much anymore. So if you want to see an updated brow routine, just let me know down in the comment box below. I'm going to go back in with my big powder brush, and right in the center, just sort of press to make sure we can get rid of the harsh lines. Okay. Now once we have bronzer on, it is time for my blush. And I've been obsessed with the MAC Mineralized blush in the shade Nude Romance. It is the perfect corally shade. It just has like the most beautiful pinky peachy like luminosity to it. It adds an instant glow, so I've been loving this. And I just like to go ahead and apply that with a small angled brush. I've been using the Bare Minerals angled blush brush. This is actually a discontinued brush, so it won't be available in Bare Minerals stores. They might. Now that we have blush on, onto my newest addition to my makeup collection. And this is the Jaclyn Hill and Becca collab, the Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Champagne Pop. And just Look at how beautiful that is. So with how pale I am, this isn't a shade that I could use year round. I wouldn't be able to highlight with this in the winter by any means. I might be able to use it like to top off matte blush or something. But in the summer, if I'm adding especially a warm bronzer like this, I can definitely get away with putting this on. And I've been obsessed over it. So I literally just tap my brush into there and I get tons of product. I've been loving using the Bare Minerals Light Stroke Fan Brush with it. This was a limited edition brush, but really you could use any fan brush. I used to use the setting brush that I used to set my concealer. This is what I used to use to highlight. So I just go in and add that to the tops of my cheekbones. I don't know if it's going to pick up in camera how beautiful this stuff is, but I've been obsessed with it. I even take it a little bit onto the center of my cheeks now. I'm not oily. If you are, definitely don't do this because it's going to accentuate the oiliness. Okay, so now that I've gone highlighter crazy, I just like to take a large stippling brush and I blend out right in the center of my cheeks right here. And again with my powder brush, I just press some of this product in here in. I definitely like to keep this up top really nice and luminous. So now for the eyes, I literally don't do much. I take a tiny bit of the Give Me Sun on just my fluffy blending brush. And I will just sort of swoop a little bit of this into my crease. So this is really nice for when you're in a rush because you can definitely use your face products on your eyes. Who says your bronzer can only be a bronzer and your highlighter can only be a highlighter? Now whereas I would normally think to put my highlighter in, pack that on my lid, instead, I'm going to take this on my brow bone and I'm not going to do anything on my lid. I'm going to leave my lid blank just with a little bit of that Kat Von D powder that I already placed. I'm just going to take a little flat shader brush with some more of that champagne pop. Concentrate that on the arch and I blend that in and out. I can already see myself hitting pan on Champagne Pop very soon, so I need to go pick up a backup before it runs out, because once it's gone forever. And that is literally all I do for my eyes. I'm just going to go in with some mascara. So I love the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash for my lower lashes. I wouldn't even think to put this on my top lashes, but for my lower lashes it is awesome. Now while that kind of dries, because my lower lashes are very long, if I try to tilt my head to put mascara on, I'll get little dots all over the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do my lips in the meantime. So super easy for a nude lip. Normally I'll just go in with some gloss. For today I'm going to go in with the Rimmel London Show Off Lip Lacquer. And this is in the shade Nude Eclipse. I'm not going in with like a lip line or anything because I don't want this to be so fussy. I just kind of want it to be effortless. So I'm not trying to be like super precise here. Now that that's on, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of gloss, and you can really use the lip gloss of your choice. I do this more for the shine than I do for the color. But my absolute favorite, like everyday lip gloss, if I want a more nude pink, is Rebel by Bare Minerals. If I want something to keep like with the bronzy theme, it's Rule Breaker. Now onto mascara. I'm just going to go ahead and curl my lashes first. And I've been liking this eyelash curler. It's by Japanesque. It's I got it like on sale at Ulta. I normally don't care like what eyelash curler I got, but I thought that like maybe it was time I tried out a little bit of a more decent eyelash curler. So I got this and I've really been liking it. So I just kind of give my lashes a couple pumps. And then once I curl that eye, I like to go in with the mascara. I don't really do them like one eye at a time. And this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Mine is starting to dry out a little bit, and I have to say I definitely liked it better when it wasn't quite as dry, but still it is an incredible mascara. Okay, and once you're all done with your mascara, you're all set to go. So this is basically what it looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed and give it a try. If you do, let me know in the comment box down below. And if you have any sort of request from me, also go ahead and add that in the comment box down below. All the products used and mentioned today will be in the description bar. And thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Bye!